Evan is with us. Evan is in Greensboro, North Carolina. Hi, Evan. Welcome to the EntreLeadership Podcast.
Hey, how's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Awesome. So my wife and I own a coffee shop, which right now it's a partnered LLC. And last year we had about 150 in gross. This year we're looking at about 200. I also own a DJ business on the side that's gross about 25,000. And then she cuts hair on the side as a cosmetologist. And she last year brought in 50. This year's probably going to bring a little bit less because we just had a kid and she's pulling back a little bit. We also have a bunch of side hustles that bring in a couple thousand each year. All that to say, we're talking with our accountant, and he's saying we should move all of it to just one giant S-Corp. And I had like a million questions as soon as he said it. He feels very confident because of tax benefits. I feel like it's not going to be that big of a benefit. And I want to get your idea on, as we're growing these businesses that are like side hustles turning into bigger revenue for us, what exactly we should do as far as structuring it.
On the federal level, there's zero difference between an LLC and an S-Corp.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina income tax might be different. In Tennessee, we ended up with a benefit of it being only LLCs. The holding body of Ramsey was an S-Corp, and I moved it to an LLC because of Tennessee law.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of there was a nuance in the law on what we were being charged on F&E, but income tax with the feds, with the IRS, isn't any different. They're both standalone entities. You can write both. You can write your payroll tax off on either side, either way. It's all the same. It comes out the same. I don't know what tax benefit he's talking about.
Gotcha. So he was more talking about the income tax, like you were saying. I'm more concerned with, do we put all of our businesses and all of our revenue under one business entity? Like my DJ business would also be under the same S-Corp or the same LLC or whatever as our coffee shop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can, from a branding perspective, you can still keep them separate if you had one holding company that was the technical owner. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason I do different LLCs on some things is from a risk management perspective. So if I have an LLC, like for instance in real estate, when I get more than $5 million of real estate in one LLC, I open another one. Because if some duper falls off the front porch, breaks his face after he was drunk, but my LLC owns the house, he decides to sue me, and the judge is an idiot and decides to award him a lot of money, the most he can get is that LLC's assets, not my other stuff. So gotcha. Keeping the size of the target on your butt small enough is risk management. And that's why I don't want more than one thing in an LLC. So if you had one of these entities that was a high likelihood of a lawsuit, I might split it off. But coffee shops and DJing shouldn't be, and hair cutting shouldn't be lawsuits.
No, definitely not. I guess I'm thinking more like, I mean, if I'm going to get insurance for my DJ business, they want to know all my business information, and they want to know what type of business is it. But if I give them that S-Corp or whatever it's going to be, how do I mean, it just doesn't seem simple enough to label it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd just be almost as like a DBA, doing business as. Okay. So this is Evans LLC. That's the holding company. And in the case of the DJ, doing business as Evans DJ business name.
Gotcha.
Right? And so it can be different things like that. So, for instance, the company that owns Ramsey is called the Lampo Group. DBA, doing business as Ramsey Solutions.
Gotcha.
Ramsey Solutions is not actually the legal entity.
So that's what I thought, kind of what we were thinking of from the beginning when we first formed our LLC was we'll just have DBAs under it. And then this guy's talking about, switch it all to an S-Corp and just throw it all under that. So I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, this guy's not a brand. This guy knows nothing about branding or marketing. So
No,
you need the
definitely not. That's what
DBAs.
concerned me.
You need the DBA names out there because that's what you're known for in these different
Right.
areas. But that doesn't
Right.
cost anything, and it doesn't change the tax mix at all. You can have DBAs under an LLC or under an S-Corp. Okay? So he's not in a position of knowledge to advise you on those things. You know more about that stuff than he does. But the only thing he's in a position to advise you on is taxes. And I want you to get a second opinion on that because I have not found what he's talking about to be true.
Right.
From a federal standpoint, an S-Corp versus an LLC, there's not spit difference. And you know, check that with somebody else. I'm not a tax expert, but I do own a whole bunch of these dadgum things. And
Right.
my stupid tax return looks like a phone book. But anyway, but it's, but that's, you know, that's the thing. So we quit doing sub S's. We only do LLCs. But again, some of that had to do with Tennessee and our particular location where we're domiciled. In the nuanced tax law, we don't have an income tax in Tennessee, but we do have an F&E tax and a personal property tax and some other things. And so we have to be wise about putting a huge asset base in an S-Corp. It gets us in all kinds of crap with the state here. So extra taxes that we don't have to have. So, but an LLC is not treated that way. So I'm just out of the S-Corp business. I'm in the LLC business. But that's not having anything to do with the IRS. So I think this guy might be over analyzing this. Number one, you need to do two things to check out his story. One is he needs to give you exact math and exactly where the S-Corp is going to save you money over an LLC and show you an exact example in your case. In your case, Evan, if you do it this way, you're going to get this number. If you do it this way, you're going to get this number, and you need to understand that math from him. And you may find if there is a little bit of difference, it's probably not worth screwing with. It's definitely not worth all the trouble we're talking about here. And then the second thing I would tell you to do, if I'm in your shoes, I'm going to do it, is I'm going to go get another opinion. And I'm going to get someone else to explain it to me. So check one of our tax pros at RamseySolutions.com that are Ramsey trusted. Sit down with one of them. Most of them do small business bookkeeping, and ask him in your area, why is my guy telling me to do an S instead of a LLC? Why is he telling me to roll it up under there? You can roll it all up under the LLC, and I think, and have within spitting distance of the same exact numbers. There may be one little number in there, but it's not going to matter much, especially in a business your size. So you're asking the right kinds of questions. By the way, this just, is a soapbox issue for all of you out there. When you have professionals in your life, their job, whether they're estate planners, CPAs working with you, doing stuff like Evan's got here, real estate people, insurance people, whatever, they are not allowed, if you're an EntreLeader, to say, do it because I said so. You're not my mama, okay? Do it because I said so doesn't play. I'm like a grown man and stuff. So you have to tell me why and show me the detail why. You have to teach me why you're telling me this is good for me, and then I will make the decision. Because I said so is an arrogant twerp. You get fired if you're advising me. I don't put up with advisors that do because I said so. You need to have the heart of a teacher and say, Dave, this is why we're making this move. We got to move this into a trust in your estate plan because it's going to save you $20 million. Well, it's not going to save you $20 million. You're going to be dead. It's going to save Sharon $20 million. And so we're going to make that move. And I'm like, okay, show me how that works. Okay. Well, by God, what are we waiting on? Let's get that thing done by nightfall, but I want to understand. That's your job. Not my estate planner told me. I had a guy the other day I was with. He said, my financial guy said I couldn't buy a car. And I'm like, what? Is he your mother? How does your financial guy decide if you're going to buy a car? That's ridiculous. You can't manage your own emotions. You can't make a judgment call as a grown man as to whether you have the money to buy a car. Your financial guy has to tell you? Oh, my God. What you're saying is you don't have enough personal self-discipline to make a decision on your own about the wisdom of purchasing something the size of a car? That's ridiculous. Evan, that's not you, Okay, you're asking the right questions, but my point is your CPA didn't do a very good job of teaching because you and I don't know what he's talking about. Because you don't know what he's talking about. And I'm not positive either. He may know something I don't know. I doubt it, but he might. So what you're looking for always, folks, when you're employing an outside expert to advise you on technology, on finance, on legal matters, your lawyer. My lawyer said, well, I don't give a crap what your lawyer said. What, do you take a class on arrogance? No, I'm not. I don't care what is that in law school? I mean, you work for me. I'm paying your bill. So you're going to tell me why we're doing this or we're not doing it. I can make a decision differently in a heartbeat, like get a different lawyer. I've done that before. So yeah, their job is to have the heart of a teacher and to advise us. That's the process.